Last year, in February, you launched the Triple C after the fall of the MDC Alliance, or after the abandonment of MDC Alliance. Take us through how it's been like.
Well, thank you very much. Just to indicate to you that it has been a fantastic show. It has been a wonderful and a fabulous journey. We've done very well. We've scored big. At the inception on the 24th of January, we indicated to the people of Zimbabwe that we are forming a formidable citizens movement, a new kid on the block, the yellow juggernaut, and that juggernaut has done wonders. We, at the instance of these hastily called for by-elections, we went into a by-election. Out of the 28 seats, we won 19. Out of the 129 or so ward council elections, we won about 89. That was no mean feat for 2022. But we have not stopped there. We have built a giant movement across the country. When we say strategic ambiguity and a structureless structure, it's just to confuse our opponent, and doesn't mean that we're not structured. We are thoroughly structured. We have a footprint far and wide across the whole country. You go to rural areas, we are everywhere, in every village, every hamlet, every farm, and of course across in the urban areas, we've dominated. And this is what explains, even in a flawed and bogus election like the one we had, we won emphatically the presidents. And some would say, but why are you saying you won the president? We won, but we're not declared. Mr. Mnangagwa is the one who was declared, but he did not win. And there's no better evidence to that than what he has shown. There has not been ability and capacity within their rank and file to even celebrate, because they know that they did not win. Even amongst themselves, they know that they did not win this election. So we did win because of a structured approach, a formidable approach. We won the majority in parliament, apart from the 104 MPs that they've allocated to us. We won much more. In fact, we're the majority in parliament. Even local authorities, you look at our show, in a suppressed and flawed election, we managed to win. Almost 33 out of 34 urban councils, and we swept in the rural district councils. That kind of significant show is not by accident, it's not by mistake, it's not by error, it's by design. It's by making sure that we are structured, we are organized, and we are empathic. And this is why Mr. Mnangagwa is terrified at us. They are so scared of us. And they are so bitter with us. That's why they are vindictive. They know that we defeated them in the election. In 2018, we beat them. But in 2023, we drubbed them. It was even thorough. And that's why you can see the vitriol and the anger and all these antics and tactics that they are playing to try and destroy the citizen movement.
In your structures, does the one person called Sengezo Chabang appear in it?
Well, I must say that we are not structured in a way. We have always been structured in the traditional sense of political parties. We don't have the post of Secretary General in our party, in our movement. We have changed champions. We are structured as such. And it's our voluntary approach, because any organization does voluntarily decide and dictate who they want to be called and how they want to be structured. You know, there are many members who are members of the Catholic Church, the Apostolic Church. They don't need political tags or labels or to say you have a card. There are ways of identifying one as a member, and they know how they designate themselves. But I can tell you that Triple C is not fast, so there should be no confusion about who is who in the Triple C. I understand the man you are talking about, Chabang, is a member of some other board, but not Triple C. He is not a member, he is not a leader. And that is known by ZANU-PF. That is known by the person who is claiming who is an impositor. He knows that he's bogus. He knows that he doesn't have title. He doesn't have a leg to stand on. He doesn't have what we call the locus standi, or legal stand, or legal standing, to say that he doesn't even know the meaning of Triple C. I'm sure if you ask him, you may not even know the doctrinal, foundational basis of the CCC as a citizens movement. As you know, the CCC was not just a political party. It's a movement born out of consultations with the citizens themselves. And they said, please, draw a line in the sand. Enough is enough. We don't want a replica of MDC toxic politics of the past. In any event, the CCC was a product of us having been banned from using the name MDC Alliance or anything that is an offshoot of MDC politics on account of a Supreme Court order. So it was a court order that banned the MDC Alliance being used by ourselves. It was given to Monzora and his team. So was MDC. So we formed a completely new political party to try and insinuate that there's a confusion, there has to be continuation from the past to the future is disingenuous and dishonest by anybody.
But the same script is playing out. 2018, 2023 script is almost playing out now. Why?
Well, it is playing out because the script is the same. And the player here, the engineer of everything, is ZANU-PF. Mr. Mnangagwa is the one who is sending all these ghosts. You know that he created ghosts in 2018. He has created another ghosts and other ghosts who are fraudsters in the truest sense of the word. And we've said to the police, please arrest these people because they are committing, a crime at law. It's fraud. It's impersonation. They are fraudsters. Go and deal with these people. They're impositors. You can't allow somebody to pretend to be who they are not. And lying even before oath, what they are not. But you know what? The impunity and immunity betrays the author and the host of this ghost.
He seems to be winning now because, by and large, recalls might be happening. There'll be by-elections. Where will you stand?
It doesn't matter. They can recall MPs a million times. You can't stop an idea whose time has come. If anything, they are losing. Because, you don't have that kind of behavior from people who are winning. It shows how desperate they are. In fact, the problem is not on our side. The problem is on the perpetrator, the rocket launcher. We don't engage the rockets or the missiles. We go to the missiles launcher. We go to the rocket launcher. Mr. Mnangagwa is the one who is launching all these rockets. So our busy schedule cannot be wasted, by engaging missiles that are being thrown at us. I can tell you that they will lose and they will fail. They will not win against the people of Zimbabwe. And I always say God is in it. It's not a claim, it's not a slogan, but it's a statement of the faith and conviction we have that you can't stop an idea whose time has come. So yes, they may try to clutch on straws, but they are sinking.
You've said God is in it. Some have said that is your weakness. Why have you so much
Because they don't know the God I serve. If they knew the God I serve, it can never be a weakness to be associated with God and to be behind God's agenda.
Some have gone to say that you can't bring in God in politics because ethnic politics, by and large, has been polluted.
They are ignorant. And let me teach them. God is in everything. We are all creatures of God. We are created by the universal author. We are not just objects. We are products of what God has created us to be. So you can't take politics outside the realm of the author and the creator. They need lessons. They need to learn that this universe has a presiding authority and God is at the center of everything. He is in everything, including politics. Yes, they are dirty politicians, but doesn't take away the fact that God is ultimately over all human beings. That's the point.
I agree with you, but one would say your approach or your uplifting of God has been also, on the other hand, deprive those who don't believe in God within the society of Zimbabwe.
It's not depriving. Mr. Mnangagwa believes in other things. He must be allowed to believe in those things. That's what democracy and diversity is all about. I've not imposed God on the people. I've said that is my source of anchor. That is my faith. That is what drives me as a leader. That is my source of strength. If you would say that that's a weakness, why would they deploy resources to fight a weak man? Weak men are not fought. by the kind of resources you have seen being deployed against us.
Do you feel God has let you down twice, 2018, 2023?
Not at all. I'm so proud of my God. He has elevated me twice.
The results are not coming in terms of what you want.
We have results to be able to stand in this environment and to be able to defeat a mammoth institution like ZANU-PF. It's not a joke. We are so proud of this God who has served us. You have seen the results. That's why they are panicking. We are so proud of our results.
This same God will watch Triple C being frog marched into a by-election.
But this is not a God of parties. It's a God of destiny. It's a God of generations. So a party is just a minuscule thing. It's a vehicle. If you are involved in an accident on your journey to Masvingo, it doesn't stop the journey. You can be given another vehicle. Perhaps there's going to be a jet that must take you quicker and faster. So don't be fixated on this, we formed the Triple C. Some of us are privileged. I've never rebelled. I've never split anything. I've never destroyed. I've never divided. My God-given task and assignment is to build. In my whole life, I've never shed blood for politics. I've never killed for politics. And I'm proud of that record. And what we want is to build. We've built this country. From my days as Member of Parliament, as Minister, all my responsibilities as an advocate in the courts of Zimbabwe's superior courts is to build. And I will not be distracted by agents and merchants of division to move from that God-given responsibility, building Zimbabwe and building Zimbabwe for everyone.
This party you built with masses of people, which you say you've got 10 champions across the country. Some of them, or within the party, some are saying there are those who are not happy with the manner in which you're running the party.
A party is not run by an individual. A party is run by its members. And they are everywhere. There is a rural district council in Binga. I don't even know who is who there. There are people who run it. That's not Nelson Chamisa. You talk about Bulawayo. We want everything in Bulawayo. I'm not even there. All I'm there is as a presiding officer, as the founder member of the Triple C. And we are proud of our record. So yes, disgruntlements, complaints, the more the merrier. But also the more you are, size becomes also an issue. As you grow big, your problems and your challenges grow big. But doesn't mean that it's a weakness. It's actually diversity and variety, which is good. That's what shows that this is a giant organization.
And leadership is seen on how you handle disgruntlements.
Indeed.
And some are saying the Chabang case is such kind of an example.
But Chabang is not a member. I told you that I'm sick and tired of commenting about ZANU or FAZ. I'm not a member of ZANU. I'm not a member of FAZ. I'm sure if you want a proper comment about those people, that name, the moment you mention it, you remind me that I'm talking to the wrong person. Because you see, Chabang guy or Twabang guy is not a Triple C member. He belongs elsewhere. He's being imposed on the Triple C to particularly achieve certain ends. And why is ZANU-PF doing this? They know that we defeated them in the election. They want us to focus internally and not focus on the issue. They want us to take our eyes off the need for a proper election and focus on these stupid and useless by-elections that are created and contrived unlawfully, criminally, and unconstitutionally. And we will not waste our time on unconstitutional things. The fact that you have a speaker who chooses to act not just in error or on the basis of a mistake, but on the basis of a crime. A ZEC that chooses to act on the basis of a crime. And a president in courts of a country who chooses to act on the basis of a crime. That makes it a criminal syndicate. Zimbabwe has become a big crime scene when it comes to tearing apart the constitution of the land.
In an event that the court at the end of the day decides you to go to a by-election, will you participate as a party?
Well, we should not waste time on unconstitutional acts, on criminal acts. We don't participate in crime. You know, it would be a different ballgame, yet this position or this vacancy has been created by a proper case of law and the course of law. But you can't say you choose to criminally produce an impositor, a fraudster, a bogus RICO, which is not from Triple C. Everyone knows who Triple C is. They know it. Zek, the parliament, Speaker of Parliament, Mr. Mnangagwa, they all know who Triple C is. They all know who is who in the Triple C. But they choose to be dishonest, mendacious, and malicious. What do? They create a tortoise on a lamp post. For what reason? Because they want to deflect. What they know is the legitimate cry by Zimbabweans, that they need the result of the election to be respected. We won the elections on the 23rd of August. They know it. We know it. Everyone knows it. SADC, AU, the whole world is aware that Mr. Mnangagwa did not win the elections in Zimbabwe. And the elections were flawed. But flawed as they were, we won them. That is known. That is common cause. So they want to try and shift that focus, create a new set of facts, hoping that that will deflect the attention and the focus of the people of Zimbabwe. We are not interested in side shows. The main show, the grand show, is the issue of having a proper government, a proper election, a legitimate government in Zimbabwe. That is the issue. All these other things are side shows. And you know, as you look at us, do we look like characters that would participate in a Muppet show?
You're very clear when it comes to your focus.
Sure.
You had an opportunity when SADC came up, and came out very clear.
Indeed.
To support how shambolic the polls were. And one would say that you want to outsource SADC in the region to complete the struggle.
Well, see, I like the term you are using, to complete the struggle. Meaning to say that there's a struggle that is going on. You know, you don't give us credit for sustaining this struggle, for commencing this struggle, for standing up to dictatorship under difficult circumstances, against all odds. We have scars. Physically, you can see the scars we have across the whole body. I was nearly killed, you know, several times, you know, our cars, convoys being shot at, you know, gunshots, accidents, poisoning, and not just myself, abductions for all our members, those who dare to stand. Some are even in jail on account of that commitment. So don't look at the negatives, look also at the positives. It's a struggle, and it's a tough struggle against a very entrenched dictatorship. But we've done very well. We've managed to make significant gains, and we are happy with where we are. Yes, we would want it to be quicker, we would want it to be faster, but look, it's not a walk in the park. Fighting a dictatorship is never instant coffee or some kind of bed of roses. It's a bed of thorns. So yes, SADC can only but augment a struggle that is already underway. And we've done everything within our power. Mind you, we are using different instruments dealing with a dictatorship. And we invest in peace. We've chosen peace under difficult circumstances.
One would say power has never come with peace. Even in the Bible that you so much trust, David had to kill Goliath.
You must know that power came through peace. In fact, the Lord Jesus Christ is the Prince of Peace. So you must understand that violence is actually of the devil.
It came at the price of a cross.
Of course, there is a price. That's why we are paying that price. Our sacrifice, that peace sacrifice, that innocent sacrifice, and that commitment we are putting on this high road to justice and democracy and freedom in Zimbabwe does not come easy. We've paid the price.
But the road seems so
We have ailments that we've sustained because of this struggle. You know, perennial headaches because of the attacks, you know, the airport attack. And just for myself, but there are many others. Some have even died. So it's coming at a cost. But what we are not going to do is to cost a life because of politics. For us, we don't believe that we must walk on dead bodies on our way to State House. I don't believe that. Yes, it's going to cost more on our time, more on our effort, more even on our integrity and credentials. But peace is the high road. We must smoke a peace pipe for Zimbabwe so that we have a free country forever.
Looking at your supporters, they seem to be growing in patience. If you talk to some, they believe, well, people in Malawi, for instance, some are saying this nonsense, your allege of Chabang and everything going to happen, shenanigans, because of your patience, your lenience.
Well, I mean, I suppose I'm the alternative to Mr. Mnangagwa. Mr. Mnangagwa has no patience, he's very violent, he's very cruel, and I suppose that's why I'm standing as an alternative. to say that is what we believe in. You know, I know that there's a growing impatience at the base, the support base. But we have said to them, trust the process. It is important. This is not a Chamisa struggle. It's not a leader struggle. It's a people struggle. Every citizen has a role to play. And I can say, get ready, mobilize, organize. Let's talk to each other and do everything we have to do peacefully, praying peacefully, acting peacefully, and making sure that we are able to democratically and politically engage peacefully.
Mr. Chamisa, thank you very much for your time. A pleasure.
God bless you. God is in it. Thank you.